How did a young man from a small village in Austria with a strong accent and broken English become one of the biggest movie stars in Hollywood history? How did he go from being told, "Your body is strange, your accent is strange, you will never be a star," to delivering some of the most famous lines in cinema? It wasn't magic. It was training. This is the story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And in today's special episode of Grow English Mastery, he is going to be your coach. I'm your host, Scarlett. Today, we are going to turn his amazing story into a workout plan for your English. First, we will break down Arnold's 10 simple but powerful rules for speaking success. Second, we will master 10 essential vocabulary words for training and discipline. And finally, for our language focus, we will learn how to give powerful advice just like a coach, using imperative sentences. This is not just a biography, it's a workout plan. So, get ready to train. Let's learn the secrets that turned an Austrian farm boy into the Terminator. Part 1. Train your brain. Let's begin with Arnold's first challenges and his first set of rules. When he first came to America, his biggest problem was that English. Words were hard to remember. His brain would not connect with them. So he developed his first rule for training the mind: connect words with pictures. He understood that our brains remember images much better than just text. So, when you learn a new word, don't just see the word. Try to see a picture of it in your mind. When you see a big red apple on a tree, say the word apple. This simple connection is a powerful way to train your brain. The new words will last longer, and you will get better every day. His next problem was speaking in real time. He often forgot difficult words when he was in a conversation. This made him feel very stuck, but he knew that the most important thing was to keep talking and be clear. This brings us to his second rule: use simple words. If you are speaking and you forget a difficult word like delicious, don't panic. Just say very tasty. If you forget the word enormous, just say very big. The goal of a conversation is to communicate, not to use fancy words. By using simple words, you keep the conversation going, you build your confidence, and people will still understand you perfectly. After solving these initial problems, Arnold focused on the most important training of all. He spent his days in the gym, training the muscles in his body. Then, he had a big realization. My mouth is a muscle. My brain needs training too. This became his third powerful rule: speak every day. You must practice speaking. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. Talk to a friend, talk to your AI tutor, or just talk to yourself for a few minutes every single day. The more you practice, the faster and stronger you will get. It is just like muscle memory. Eventually, your words will start to come out without thinking. This is the winning way. Part 2. Build your system. Arnold knew that just speaking was not enough. To be a champion, he needed a system. This brings us to the next set of rules for building your learning system. When he was learning his lines for movies, he did not just learn one word at a time. He knew that a single word is lonely and very easy to forget. This is his next rule. Learn words in sentences. A word inside a sentence has a home. It has context. For example, don't just learn the word back. Learn the full iconic sentence. I'll be back. When you do this, your brain learns the full sound, the rhythm, and the emotion of the phrase. This makes your speaking much more natural and on track. To remember all these new sentences, he needed a place to keep them. This leads us to his next simple but effective rule. Keep a small notebook. Arnold was famous for writing all of his plans, his goals, and his ideas in notebooks. When you learn a new word or a new sentence that you find useful, write it down. The physical act of writing helps you remember much more than just reading or typing. It is one of his best tricks. Get a small notebook and make it a goal to write just one new English sentence in it every day. He also used another tool to train his mind like a gym. His next rule is to use flashcards. A flashcard is a small card with information on it. It is a simple but powerful tool. You can write the English word on the front, and on the back, you can write the meaning in your language, or, even better, draw a simple picture of the word. You should look at your flashcards for just 5 minutes every day. This small habit will help you see the new words again and again, and your brain will learn and remember them very fast. Part 3. The champion's mindset tools and systems are important, but Arnold knew that the real secret to success was the mindset of a champion. This brings us to his final and most important rules. He was in the movies, and he wanted to be the best. To do this, he followed this rule. Watch and listen in English. He watched countless American movies and listened carefully to how the actors talked. His brain started to learn the natural sounds and the rhythm of the language. When you hear real English every day, your brain and your mouth start to feel the words. You will start to speak with a stronger, more natural flow. He also trained his brain like a muscle with a technique that every champion uses: repetition. This is his next rule. Repeat and use new words. When you learn a new word, don't just read it once. That is not enough. Say it out loud 5 times. Then, use that new word in 3 different sentences that you create. For example, if you learn the word fast, you should say, I am a fast learner. My car is fast. My English is improving fast. This is how you make a word stick in your brain. Forever. But what happens when you are in a real conversation and you make a mistake or you forget a word? Arnold was on a movie set. The lights were hot. The director was watching. He forgot his line. In that moment, he felt a small fear. But this brings us to one of his most important rules for speaking. Stay calm. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about communicating. If you forget a word, do not panic. Take a deep breath, smile, and explain what you mean in a different way using other simple words. People will understand, and they will appreciate your effort. And finally, we arrive at the number 1 rule. The secret that made him a champion in bodybuilding, in movies, and in learning English. His final rule is this: constant action and training. Don't just think about learning English. Don't just plan to learn English. You have to do it. every day, every chance you get. Speaking is a muscle. You must use it to make it strong. Go out and speak. Practice every single day, even when you don't feel like it. This is the champion's way. Part 4. Language focus. Now, let's move to our language focus. First, let's explore 10 essential vocabulary words from Arnold's winning rules. Our first word is accent. An accent is the way in which people in a particular area or country pronounce words. For example, when Arnold first came to America, he had a strong Austrian accent. Another example is, she speaks English with a beautiful French accent. Our second word is the phrasal verb, to give up. To give up means to stop trying to do something, especially because it is too difficult. For example, people told him he couldn't be a star, but he never gave up. Another example is, learning a new skill is hard, but it's important not to give up. Our third word is picture. A picture is a drawing, painting, or photograph of something. For example, one of his rules is to connect new words with a picture in your mind. Another example is, I have a picture of my family on my desk. Next, we have simple. Simple means easy to understand or do, not complicated. For example, his advice is to use simple words when you are speaking. Another example is, the book explains grammar in a very simple way. Our fifth word is muscle. A muscle is a piece of tissue in your body that you can tighten and relax to produce movement. For example, he believes your mouth is a muscle that needs daily training. Another example is, he goes to the gym to build his muscles. The sixth word is notebook. A notebook is a small book with empty pages that you can write in. For example, another one of his rules is to keep a vocabulary notebook. Another example is, I always carry a notebook to write down new ideas. Our seventh word is habit. A habit is something that you do often and regularly, sometimes without knowing you are doing it. For example, using flashcards for 5 minutes every day is a great habit to build. Another example is, he is trying to form a new habit of waking up early. Next, we have repetition. Repetition is the action of repeating something that has already been said or done. For example, he says that repetition is the key to making your muscles and your brain strong. Another example is, language learning requires a lot of repetition. Our ninth word is calm. Calm means not showing or feeling nervousness, anger, or other strong emotions. For example, his advice is to stay calm if you forget a word during a conversation. Another example is, she has a very calm and relaxing voice. And our final word is action. Action is the process of doing something, especially to achieve a goal. For example, his number one rule is about taking constant action and training. Another example is, it's time to stop talking and take action. Now, let's look at our grammar focus for today. Imperative sentences. Arnold's advice is very direct and strong. He gives you rules or commands. The grammar for giving commands, rules, or strong advice is called the imperative. The structure is very simple. You just use the base form of the verb without a subject like you or I. All of Arnold's rules are perfect examples of imperative sentences. Connect words with pictures. Use simple words. Speak every day. Learn. Words and sentences. Keep a small notebook. Use flashcards. Watch and listen in English. Repeat and use new words. Stay calm. And take constant action. To make an imperative sentence negative, we just add don't before the verb. For example, don't just think about it, do it now. Or, don't wait to be perfect. This is a very powerful way to give clear advice, just like a strong coach. Part 5. Practice tips for the 4 skills. So how can you practice these ideas? Here are some simple tips for all 4 skills. For listening, listen to this lesson again. Pay close attention to the 10 rules that Arnold gives. Notice that they are all short, clear, imperative sentences. This will train your ear to hear and understand instructions. For speaking, choose your favorite rule from Arnold's list. Find a friend or use the voice feature of your AI and tell them about the rule using the imperative form. For example, I learned some great advice from Arnold. He says, speak every day. For reading, find a simple recipe in English online. The instructions you read, like mix the flour and sugar or bake for 20 minutes, are all imperative sentences. It is a great way to see them used in a real-life context. And for writing, write down 3 rules for yourself to improve your English this week. Use the imperative form, just like Arnold. For example, 1. Practice for 10 minutes every day. 2. Watch 1 English video. 3. Learn 1 new word. Part 6. Your next action. Arnold Schwarzenegger's story is a powerful lesson in self-belief and hard work. He shows us that our limitations, like having a strong accent or not knowing many words, do not have to define our future. He treated learning English like a workout. He was consistent, he was disciplined, and he never gave up. His 10 rules are not just for learning a language. They are rules for winning at life. As we come to the end of our lesson, let's quickly summarize the key takeaways. First, we learned the inspiring story of how Arnold Schwarzenegger trained his English like a muscle to become a Hollywood superstar. Second, we broke down his 10 simple but powerful rules for success in language learning, from training your brain to building a champion's mindset. And finally, we focused on the grammar of imperative sentences, the language of giving clear advice and instructions. We also learned 10 essential vocabulary words. As a review, those words were accent, to give up, picture, simple, muscle, notebook, habit, repetition, calm, and action. I hope this lesson has not only helped your English, but has also given you a powerful new mindset for your learning journey. Which of Arnold's 10 rules do you think is the most useful for you? Please share your answer in the comments section below. If you are committed to making this training a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know who needs motivation. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss our next workout. Remember Arnold's advice. Train hard, speak strong, and win big. Until next time, take care and happy learning. I'll be back.